In the meantime here, though, we wanted to introduce our next guest. He is a personal trainer at Absolute Fitness here in Qatar. His name is Jonny Parr. Jonny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we are certainly glad to have you here. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Sure. So my name's Jonny Parr, and I'm from Scotland in the UK. Grew up in Glasgow and came out to Doha almost 4 years ago. Came out as a teacher, actually, as a PE teacher. Did a wee bit of personal training as well, and then I went full-time. Absolute Fitness is my company, which has now been operational for just over a year. And we specialise in, a series of fitness services, including personal training, one-to-one personal training, as group personal training. We do tailored, boot camps, and a series of corporate wellness sort of initiatives. So yeah, I've been here now, like I said, just under 4 years, and it's been great.
You like it here so far? You're all right?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think the great thing about Doha for me, apart from things like the weather, obviously, is the opportunities that I've had to do what I love. And it's the one country that's given me that platform to do it from. I did all my studying, most of my studying back in the UK. But now here, the opportunities, and I'm just driving and doing as much as I can. Well,
and that's what we're going to talk about today, what you love. And that is fitness, if it's fair to say.
Yep.
Staying in shape. Absolute Fitness is the company that you work for. And as you said, you all have a number of different services, corporate trainings, individual personal training, everything in between. And so we were hoping to bring you on today to tell us a little bit about how people can stay healthy, because that's what National Sports Day is all about, right?
Yeah.
Getting people moving. So what, in your opinion, and maybe this is some opinion, some fact, but what is the minimum that people should be doing every day to stay healthy and to be active? What's the bottom rung here that everyone should be shooting for?
Well, I mean, it depends on the recommendations that you read. For example, the recommendations in the UK, and they tend to change, but they say that 2.5 hours moderate to intense aerobic activity, which is like walking, cycling at a kind of steady state pace, and 2 days of strength training. So if that's bodyweight resistance, if it's lifting weights in 2 days. The alternative to the first one I just said is 1 hour, 15 minutes of vigorous, intense activity. And that tends to be sports like football, tennis, hard running. And again, they still recommend 2 times a week strength training. So that's what is recommended. We don't disagree, but we have our own sort of take on, Absolute Fitness have their own take on what we would recommend.
Sure. So this is like from the NHS in the UK.
Sure, yeah.
You all have your own adjustments to that regimen, right?
Yeah. Just from my experience and the other guys, and we've spoke about this a lot, and we find that people react best to 3 times a week minimum, combination of strength training and conditioning, hard conditioning. Also, areas like flexibility and mobility every day would be fantastic, because movement is very important. But for the results, I find that the results most people want, which is fat loss, building muscle, lean muscle, you need to have that stimulus, a regular stimulus, 3 times per week, a combination of strength training and conditioning.
Are you sure it isn't more watching TV and sitting in a chair? Because that's what I do, and I was really hoping that was what you were going to tell me. But no, I'm not living a healthy lifestyle. Is that what you're saying?
You need to get moving. Your body was designed to move. So we need to tap into your interests about what would get you motivated to move. Some people, can go to the gym and enjoy it, and it's easy. You say it's easy for them, but others you need to, work a bit harder to get motivated. But there's active things you can do that doesn't have to be regimented like the gym. It can be doing sport.
And really, that's what we're looking for here. Is and the problem I have with really staying fit and healthy, because I'll tell you what happens to me. I go on these kicks where I'm determined. 6 months, solid. Sure. I'm working out 3 times a week. I'm in and out of the gym. I'm doing cardio, and then that excitement wears off. Yeah, it gets hard. After about 6 months, I'm really having a hard time. So staying motivated is really critical to creating a lifestyle. It's not just I'm going to work out for a bit and lose some weight and then I can forget about it. Yeah. It's keeping that going and sustaining that activity. So how do you keep people motivated to do this stuff once that initial excitement wears off?
Initially, it's tapping into their interests. They like sport, and I always encourage sport because it's so many benefits to it. Even outside of the fitness benefits, that is health, it's very social as well. So you're more likely to remain motivated and continue that. As a personal trainer, the first thing we do, we assess and then we reassess. And that's great for motivation because, first off, when we collect that data of your starting point, we then reassess to see if you're getting the results you want. So it could have been a tough maybe month, it could have been a tough 2 months, and you're starting to taper, your motivation is dropping. But if you see that you've lost maybe 5 kilos, your waist has got smaller, maybe you're starting a bit more shape, in your arms or whatever you're looking for, motivation then becomes more likely, and you're more likely to continue when you see results.
Sure. When you're seeing significant results, it's certainly a lot easier to keep going. And maybe that's where a lot of people fail, is because they're not doing the right things to begin with. They don't see the results they're expecting. And it's that much harder to go back to the gym or get back on the field or whatever you're doing, yeah?
Yeah. And we always set goals. Goal setting's important. There's a long-term goal, but people need to be realistic. The short-term goals are ultimately going to lead to that long-term. And like I said, it has to be realistic to what you want to achieve. People think you can get immediate results within 4 weeks. From experience, you'll get some result, but to say the end result in a month, it's not going to happen.
Sure.
And you have to realise a lot of people haven't been active since they were at school. Some haven't been active, all their life. So to immediately see the results they're looking for, and all of a sudden they're doing this exercise, it will take time, but you will get results. But again, remaining motivated and being consistent is vital to achieve that.
And you mentioned something that I'd like to go back to, and that is having fun while you're doing it. And really, I think that's maybe what is discouraging to people, because they think about working out, they think about being active and healthy, and I think a lot of people picture running on the treadmill or, repetitive actions of some kind, lifting weights or whatever. What are some of the things, in your opinion, that people may not think of when they're thinking about getting healthy, that they're a lot of fun, that it really could be a way to have a good time and not realize you're actually doing something good for yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. What we do is, within our boot camps in particular, there is a tough component within that. It has to be intense to get results, but we also include challenging, motivating games. We found from our experience that people react better in a social circumstance. They get support from the trainers like myself, but to get that additional support from others in the group is invaluable. It's fantastic to see that, and it's a huge difference. Back to those fun games, so we'll bring in partner drills, games, whatever it may be, and that just seems to stimulate more interest. And we always finish, for example, with a fun game, so they always come back. Retention is much better when they go away remembering, there was definitely some fun areas in that. There will be some tough moments. You'll have to really tap into some mental toughness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you will realise it's all worth it. And that fun element will always make you come back.
Now, here's one that I have to ask you, because we talk a lot about the technology in fitness, or the latest clothes or gear, and a lot of people seem to think that if they just spend a lot of money on this gear, the latest device, it's going to help them stay in shape. What is your take on just the equipment, the technology? What do you have to say about this?
Absolute Fitness we promote functional fitness. That basically means functional is something that will carry on to your everyday life. So that will be, picking up your suitcase, picking up your kids. So we want to do activities and exercises that will improve your everyday life. For us, the priority is, your well-being and safety, obviously. And then secondary to, your functional fitness, you're getting stronger, is aesthetics. And aesthetics are important. It improves confidence. People want to look better, and that's fine. That's great. It is secondary to what we do, but you will get the results at the same time.
Some things I like. For example, we're wearing these, because we told you already, these Fitbit devices. We have this competition where we're counting steps amongst the team. And stuff like this I like, if only because it helps me visualize what I'm doing.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see I've only walked 2,000 steps today. I should be walking at least 10,000. Yeah. Stuff like this to me is functional.
Sure.
But at the same time, like any other sport or activity, you can really go overboard very quickly, where you're really not getting any benefit out of the things that you buy. And every company in the world is trying to market you some new product that there's going to be the miracle pill to get you in shape. Yeah. So unless it is providing some functional benefit to you, it's really just not worth it. Yeah,
I mean, the tools, the common tools that we use, we are very big on free weights, and that can be more fun as well to do. So we're talking about dumbbells and barbells and things as well. But TRX. If TRX is it's like a suspension trainer. You can attach it at home. There's like a door anchor. You can attach it to anything like a tree. And it's this device that is good fun. It's technically, it's challenging. It will improve your coordination. It will improve your balance. But at the same time, it's tough. It will get you stronger.
Sure.
And the best thing about that actually is that you can train anywhere. If you have a schedule of you travel, you can put that in your bag. It packs away nicely, and it's very, very effective.
And it's called TRX, huh?
TRX, yeah, an American company, and you can find it in Go Sport. They tend to stock, a lot of the most up-to-date equipment that you'll find in Doha will be in that shop. A battle rope as well. The battle rope is like a conditioning tool. It's just like a big rope that you can wrap around some kind of anchor point, and it's very good for upper body conditioning. Again, Go Sport stocks them. I think they sell quite fast, but when they get their stock in, that's another great tool. And the great thing about that is, we were talking earlier about motivation. It's fun. Like, clients look forward to doing these things because it's different and it looks cool and it's exciting.
Yeah, see, and really that's key, making sure that it remains fun. It doesn't have to be this miserable experience, and really you don't need all the devices and the gear to do that. Like you said, it could be these very simple things that really can be fun and make a big difference without going overboard. So good advice all around. Now, nutrition, this is sort of the other side of the coin,
sure,
right? You can do all the weight training, all the cardio, everything you can think of on the physical side. And it's really one half of the entire equation. Eating right is a big deal.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we get into, well, what about vitamin supplements and, this protein shake or, this whatever booster.
Yeah.
What is your take on all of that? Is it the same as with all the gear, or are there certain products that you do think are well worth it?
Nutrition is the most important factor. There's no getting around that. If your nutrition, or if you're not eating the right foods for your goals, you will not get the results you're seeking. I go as far to say, it's maybe overused this, but 80% is it nutrition, 20% exercise. Depending on your goals, if you say fat loss, then you're going to have to eat correctly to get that goal. If you want to build muscle, you're going to have to eat correctly for that goal as well. And it will obviously vary for each one because you need more calories for building muscle, and you probably need to reduce your calories for getting lean. Regarding supplements, I think the key is in that name, supplement. It's a supplement to your natural diet. So your solid foods makes the foundation of your diet. And a supplement, it makes a difference, a small difference, but it's, like I say, just an addition to your already, hopefully, brilliant, ideal diet.
Yeah. Well, but you're right. I think people forget that this is to complement an already solid, well thought out nutrition plan.
Yeah.
It's that if you feel you're not getting enough of something, you can supplement it with these things, but you shouldn't be relying on them. Again, like the technology and the devices, you shouldn't be relying on any of this stuff to get you in shape and to do the job.
Yeah, and I think that's a big mistake some people make. They think that, oh well, if I take this magic pill, then I'll suddenly lose weight, and it doesn't work that way. It will assist you towards whatever your goals are, whatever supplement you take, depending on the quality of it. But like you're saying, it's just an addition. Yeah,
I've just been reading recent research that there are some people within that community who believe that really these supplements are entirely worthless, that for the most part it's just running right through you. Not a lot of it is getting absorbed into your body anyway. Just if you're eating right, you probably don't need these supplements to begin with.
These are big companies, these supplements, so their guidelines, for example, and they'll be written on the tub itself. They'll probably tell you to take more than you actually need.
Yeah, I imagine. Take 5 of these. Yeah. You really don't need 5 of those. Yeah.
Then you go and you buy another 3 tubs. So,
and they're pricey too, man, especially out here.
These companies exaggerate their results as well often. So
why am I not surprised?
They've got their own research. Scientists that will put together exaggerate results, obviously, so that you go back.
Studies have shown. It's your study that said that. Yeah,
exactly. And that's a business, isn't it? So it shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately, that does go on.
It is. It's not only is it a business, it's a multi-billion-dollar business every year. So you've got to imagine they don't have your best interests in mind here. Really, they're thinking of their bottom line. Take it all with a grain of salt. Basically, is I think the underlying message there. There are really I can get behind a multivitamin if you feel you don't have a good balanced diet. Sure, no problem. If you're working out and you need some extra protein, a little whey protein, maybe things like that. I get it, but there's a lot of hype surrounding nutrition.
Absolutely. And I think, you're saying the multivitamin, I think that's a really good one.
Sure.
We recommend a multivitamin, definitely. We recommend fish oils as well. And we do recommend for clients that whey protein, more for convenience, because as often, if you're stuck at work, and there'll be times when you need to eat regularly, but there'll be a time when you won't have that opportunity to. So if you have, say, a shaker in your bag and you've got some protein in there, you can get some nutrients, essential nutrients. And it's also very good straight immediately after your workout. Regardless if you're playing football and tennis, you've been in the gym, you have an open window of, say, 30 minutes. That's when the repair process will start for your body.
Your body's primed to take this stuff up.
That's it, to suck up these nutrients. So if you get a protein shake straight after, that's the best time. That's the only time, I'll be honest, that I tend to use. That's when I use whey protein, immediately after the workout.
Sure, yeah. Right when your body is just craving all this stuff, you're giving it to them in an immediately available form that actually does something.
Absolutely.
And not what is debatable effects from other times of the day or other products and such. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Because I when I am exercising, when I'm on one of these kicks, I have to eat a lot. It's ridiculous. I just start losing weight immediately. If I don't, keep my calories up pretty high, it just drops off of me. I mean, really, like a couple pounds a day if I'm not watching it.
Yeah. See, I think you're going to have a fast metabolism.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's craziness, man. It's really hard to keep up. Like, and my wife hates me for it, but it's really difficult to keep up, and especially when I'm exercising. When, I've kicked it into high gear, like my metabolism is even faster.
Sure.
That I'm so many calories a day, and if I don't do it, all that work that I've done for the previous few weeks or whatever is just gone. Like it's just disappeared immediately. And
nutrition, going back to that point, will be really important for you. What we would, if I was training you, what I would give you in terms of what you should eat would be completely different for someone that wants to lose weight, obviously.
Sure.
And supplements become handy for you. I would recommend that. You can get weight gainers, for example. It has more calories.
Sure, just to build up the calories. Because I'm finding as well, after a few months, after I've gained some weight, it gets harder and harder for me to get in the total amount of calories that I need. It's like I can't eat that much food, It's like impossible.
That's it, and that's another great thing about supplements, actually. Yeah. It's not easy to eat. They say eat healthy, but it's not easy to eat 3 bananas. It's difficult. But then
6 cans of tuna is just not possible.
But if you can get your calories in, this weight gainer, it's broken down and it's easier to digest, then why not? As long as it's a quality brand, a studied brand.
And what also found it is just to round it out there is that it's very easy to begin to rely on that weight gainer or these or the protein to get the calories that I need, and you have to remember this is just a supplement. Yeah, I should be eating right, because I could find myself eating drinking a shake 3 times a day, and I'm getting the calories, but it's not good for me. Like my liver is probably crying out in pain.
You get sore stomach, It can if too much. Yeah, definitely.
I imagine. Well, that's all good stuff for me. Should I get back on one of these kicks? Now, as you know, we're at the tail end of a stepping competition. We told you all about this, right?
Yep.
So everyone on the team has been wearing these, speaking of devices, these Fitbit wristbands. They're just counting our steps, our sleep patterns, calories if we're putting them in, that sort of thing. And the loser will have to endure a few minutes with you. Is that correct?
Maybe more than a few minutes.
If you could, because we waited a while to tell the audience what we were going to do, because we wanted it to be kind of a surprise.
Sure.
So we've kind of given them an outline. We just said basically it's going to be intense. You're going to be miserable. You're going to wish you had walked just a little further to avoid it. What are you going to subject our loser to?
It won't be for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. It's going to be what's known as a metabolic body weight only, because we won't have any equipment. Metabolic conditioning. Okay. So it will be very explosive power based. There will be, body weight resistance only, back-to-back exercises in a given time frame.
Okay, so it's going to be one right after the other. Just do this quick now to the next one. Okay.
And it's basically complete as many. There'll be a set number of reps for each exercise, and you complete it as fast as you can, and then you'll get your time off that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Now, are you going to be yelling at this person while it's happening? I hope so.
Motivating, not yelling.
Okay.
There's different
styles. It's a very
styles.
diplomatic way to say that.
Yeah, there's different styles. There is a kind of shouting military type, I'm not personally a big fan of that, but I'll motivate and shout at you if necessary. But
because when I think boot camp, that's kind of what this is, right? Like it's intense, a high intensity training over a short period of time. I'm picturing some guy yelling at me, 10 more, come on. Basically, we want the loser to suffer here. We're going to be announcing the loser of the competition here in just a little bit. But, all right, cool. So you are going to do your best to make sure they are miserable.
Absolutely.
For those few minutes.
It will be... Now,
20 minutes, something like that. It's however long they can last.
Yeah, it will be tough, but you just don't want to be last.
Yeah. I need to get out and walk some more before the end of the day to make sure I don't lose. Well, Jonny, I know you've got a lot going on here for Sports Day, and we certainly appreciate you coming in. What's your plan for the day here? You've got all kinds of things going on.
Yeah, no, we're working for Maersk, so there's a massive event taking place at Aspire. We'll be running football tournament. There'll be some basketball. There'll be a volleyball tournament. There'll be family fitness games and things. So we want to get a lot of the children involved, getting the children playing, with their parents together in these fun games. And there'll also be on stage performances like aerobics, body balance, and body combat. So we're really busy with that. That's going to be from 9 till 1. And we're also helping Georgetown University with their fun run. So, yeah, that's the two events that Absolute Fitness will be doing.
Cool.
And we can't wait. It's going to be a great day.
For people who want to get in touch and maybe join a group with a bunch of people or get some personal one-on-one training, how would they get in touch with Absolute Fitness?
Phone calls probably best, or email. The phone number is 33852696. The email is info@absolutefitness.me. Any questions you have, just let us know. We'll get back to you very prompt. You can go into our website and you can check out more information about us. The website is absolutefitnessqatar.com. The Facebook is facebook.com/absolutefitnessqatar. And you'll get more information. And then please don't hesitate. Just contact us, have a chat, friendly chat, no obligation. And then, we can take it from there, see if we can help you.
Sounds great. Jonny, we really appreciate you taking time out of your sports day to come and chat with us.
No, definitely. Thanks for having me on. It's been great.
And looking forward to our punishment session here in a couple days.
Well, we see if you say that after.
I'm assuming it's not going to be me, but you never know.
Well, I know that some people have told me they're confident it's going to be you, Scott.
Some people certainly have. I'm determined not to lose. We'll see what happens. Jonny, thanks again. We really appreciate you coming.
No, thanks very much.